Hello, and welcome back. I'm Terry David Mulligan, and this is Mulligan Stew Podcast, music, film, food, and wine. It's film this time out, and truly one of the great names in film, Alfonso Cuarón. His latest film is called Roma. It's not about Rome. It's about a section of Mexico City called Roma. He is under consideration for Best Foreign Language Film, Best Director, Best Original Screenplay, Best Cinematography, and Best Film Editing, all for one film. That's how personal this journey was. He grew up in Roma, Mexico City. He was in a rather well-to-do section of town, and the family had a staff looking after them. He grew up with a woman in the film he called Cleo, and he took her for granted. He took all of those house servants for granted as he was growing up. And the reason why he made this film, as he explains in our podcast, it's an apology. He meant it as an apology for taking them for granted, for not knowing anything about their lives, and for thanking Cleo for raising him to be the man that he is today. Just a reminder, this was the same director who gave us Gravity several years ago, which won, of course, the big Oscar, and was about space, was about the space station being wrecked by debris on a large scale. It was a huge scale, shots of the Earth from space. In this case, this is just one small section of Mexico City. And he recreated his house, his streets, the very neighborhood that he grew up in. We are honored to welcome to our podcast, Alfonso Cuarón. Alfonso.
Oh, Terry.
Welcome to Canada. I just want to let you know that last night the Vancouver Film Critics awarded you Best Screenplay and Best Film of the Year. And I was honored to be hosting that show, so congratulations. It seems to be coming.
Oh, thank you so much. This is amazing news.
It's wonderful. Listen, I've been watching film for years, and I see credits come and go all the time. But as soon as I saw that you directed, wrote the screenplay, did the cinematography for the first time, and best film editing, the film editing co-editor, I knew that this was a very personal, profoundly personal story for you. You could just tell. When did you realize when this story had to be told? When did it come to you?
The first inception of the film, and conscious inception, I don't know if it was brewing in my mind for a long time, but the first inception was maybe 15 years ago after Children of Men, and this is the film I wanted to do, but I didn't dare to do it. And frankly, it's because I didn't have the emotional tools at the time. And then it was 3-4 years ago when I decided that it was not that I decided. It became a life necessity. I had to do this film. And I didn't have any excuse. I was coming out of the economic success of Gravity. So I had the support, and there was no way I could give excuses why not to do it.
I saw a quote go by from you that stopped me. It said it gave you immense pain that I had never stopped to consider what Cleo had given me growing up. Your lead actor. It came to you had you always known that was the case?
Well, not as a child. As a child, you just have all this entitled behavior that I'm embarrassed about. As a teenager, when I was more conscious about issues like class and ethnic background, and I start recognizing those invisible walls that we put between us because of class and ethnic background. Yes, I started becoming aware of it, but it was more in an abstract, socio-political way. It's difficult when you're dealing with people that are so close to us, and that would be the case if I was talking about my mother or any of my siblings. Is that we give them for granted. We recognize certain complexities and problems, but we never put ourselves in their shoes. It's very difficult. It's very painful. And what this film did is that it explored those wounds. And those wounds that I share with my family, but also with a society and probably with humanity at large. I don't know if those wounds are healed. That I'm not sure. But now, at least in my case, are deeply recognized.
Well, I'm wondering, movies were her escape. They were also yours, obviously, growing up. What effect do you think would seeing Roma have today on people like Cleo, like Libo?
It's been very, very exciting, very touching how just to have in cinema and a film that is promoted and is being celebrated this much, in which the central character is a domestic worker that is an indigenous woman, has given a lot of pride to a whole community that has never felt represented or represented with dignity. And I'm not only talking about, say, the way that Hollywood film have represented the Mexican character, but is how Mexico has represented their indigenous populations. So that is absolutely fantastic. In the other hand, as important for me is that I'm very, very glad that the film is being used as a platform of organizations, both in Mexico and in the United States, organizations that are pleading for the rights of domestic workers.
Right.
And that makes me very, very happy.
What can you, this is a big picture question, Alfonso. What can your film, any film actually, do for Mexico, a country that has been pushed into a very ugly spotlight that they didn't ask for? Can you be their voice?
I cannot be pretentious to say that I can be the voice, but I can offer a window. I can offer a window into a recognition that we are one and the same. We are just, as people in the United States, we care about our families. We all experience love, and we all experience losses. And nothing, the only thing that get us through is that are those bond of affections that we create between people, and sometimes with people that are the most unlikely people to come into our lives.
I'm so happy that this is streaming on Netflix, by the way. I just want to tell you that, because it gets it into every home. Everybody gets to see this.
Look, it's a Mexican film in black and white with unknown actors, Spanish and Mixteco. Yes, I was going to have a decent theatrical release, but it was going to end up in a highbrow, cosmopolitan cultural centers. And what I'm very happy is that this is becoming a mainstream experience with people all around the world seeing the film. Yalitza, who plays Cleo, she says, I'm thrilled that this film goes to Netflix, because in Tlaxiaco, Oaxaca, where she's from, says, we don't have cinemas. The closest cinema is 3 hours away. So, and I want my community to see this film. So yes, I'm very pleased, and I'm very happy that Netflix, and they are doing a tremendous job bringing this film to the mainstream audiences.
Last question, and a bit of a trivia goes with it. Congratulations on your Golden Globes. I know you're looking forward to the Oscars. Do you know the last black and white to win cinema at the Oscars for Best Cinematography?
That's a good question. I don't know. Schindler's List, maybe?
Schindler's List, 1993. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. And thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just an astonishing director, writer, editor, for cinematographer, Alfonso Cuarón, literally in a league by himself. Just a heads up that the Oscar nominations will be announced early Tuesday morning, January the 22nd. And the actual awards themselves will air for an eternity on Sunday, February the 24th. This has been Mulligan Stew Podcast, music, film, food, and wine. I'm Terry David Mulligan. Thank you for subscribing, and join us next time.